was no longer really an opportunity or choice, it's an imperative. To telling the story, how do we make sure that we're taking full advantage of any and all assets that are on the grid and at customer premises.
Each episode, we delve into the world of energy, aiming to bridge the gap of understanding and challenge conventional thinking.
Well, we lost David.
Did I bore him?
So I guess he just hung up on us. I don't know.
Oh, well.
But I stayed, so.
I'm just concerned he didn't like anything I was saying, so he hung up on us.
So there's benefits to technology, and sometimes it makes you mad. So this is one of those times. But I'll continue. I'm hoping David can dial back in. If not, well, we'll just go on without him.
Yeah,
we'll just forge ahead. Well, RB, I've been lucky enough to be able to sit on a couple meetings, and something that has really just sparked my interest is we'll be talking about, different components of the advantages of microgrids and different opportunities that they present. And you, having served for 40 plus years in this utility space, in the energy space, seeing you have aha moments is something that I'm like, I want to dig deeper. What is going on? I see that face. I see you having all these sparks. Explain.
Well, that might be something to do with my age, but we'll hope it's not that. Now, I tell people it's nice to get to my stage in life and have a technology or a product make me look at things differently, as you put it, the aha moments. And I will tell you, I again, part of it's age, but we'll get in a conversation and David or somebody on staff will say something about a use of a technology or a new technology and what it does. And I mean, they might as well close the room down for me from the rest of the day, because what did he just say? We can do that now. And it does, having looked at a lot of things from a lot of different directions over the years, you start seeing how a facet of what we have been working toward and needed, aha, we got it. Okay, what does that do for the next? I kind of equate it to what they're doing in physics with the accelerator. Every time they learn something, it opens up another door into something else. Well, that's kind of what we're doing here. And, I would challenge anybody that's been in engineering or any part of the design of electrical systems needs to think about, how does this change the way I do work? How does this change how I make decisions? How does this change how I make investments? And it's a nice thing to have something like this come along and just start seeing how this can impact what we do on a daily basis. And, we're running into a number of people we've been working with the last 6 months to a year and even before, but particularly in the last year, I'd say, that are starting to get it and they're starting to see it. And then, you give co-op folks and utility engineers in general a new toy, and things take off from there. Just stand back and watch it happen. And that's what we're starting to see. Microgrids, I tell people, microgrids can be as small as your desk to as big as the state. And what does that do to the industry? If we start talking about microgrids that do that, at one time I was involved in some state-to-state planning, and the goal of that project was to be energy independent by state. Now that's kind of died now, but we were talking microgrids when we said that, and so again, application of the technology we're bringing to the table. The long and short of it, what we're bringing to the technology we're bringing to the market is really a heavy duty on steroids and whatever is worse than steroids, data analytics. And we offer a number of applications of our analytics platform that answers a lot of questions, DERMS, PSPM, digital twin. It answers a lot of questions, but it's really the data. It's really the data and what we do with it and how fast we can crunch it, how fast we can deliver an answer that is value and valuable. And so, again, I get pretty pumped up over this.
Well, I apologize. I had to drop there. Technology. We're talking about technology.
It's not our technology.
That's right. That's exactly right. But well, no, RB, thank you so much. What we would like to do is actually have you come back, RB, here real soon, because one of the things I'd like to follow on with you is just to talk about kind of the business construct. You know, after spending so many years and I think a real value that I know you bring to NX is not just that ability from an engineering standpoint to see and understand what's happening from an engineering capability, but also being a CEO and working with municipals and co-ops, and just being in the market. What's changing in the business construct and what has to change. We hear terms about interconnections today and how important interconnections are going to be. We hear we know there's a lot of challenges as it relates to the various markets, the RTOs and ISOs that are out there. And so I think, Sandy, if we could, I'd love to schedule RB back here in just the next few weeks and carry this conversation to really even talk more about that business construct. At NX, one of the things we're really trying to do is not just provide a tech stack to our clients, but also to walk that journey with them in regards to kind of digital planning, to walk that journey with them in terms of the funding, the financing opportunities, and then the business construct. One of the things that our meeting at NREL this week was talking about public-private partnerships and how it's going to take public-private partnerships to move this along, and how we're going to have to work with research institutions and so forth. So, RB, I'd love to have you come back. I know you and I have had a lot of discussions about that, and I think our audience would love to hear your take and your thoughts on not just this engineering side of it, but also just as importantly from a CEO and someone who's been in the industry so long, what does it look like as we face some of the regulatory challenges and funding and financing and just the opportunities in front of us to help redesign that.
Be happy to. Just name the time.
Yeah. That's great. And Sandy, again, RB, I mean it sincerely. We appreciate you. It's, there's a lot of people you come across in your life that you've known for quite some time. And, you talk about, we wish we were 20 years younger. And I mean it. I wish I was 20 years younger so that you and I had more time to work together, because I'm really enjoying it. And part of that enjoyment is really all about working with someone who has a vision and has a passion to make a meaningful difference for society, and I know you have a heart for that, and that's really born out of that cooperative spirit.
Yeah, I think I spent a lot of years working in co-ops, and work is not the right word. It's I think it's probably going a little far to say it was that God had pushed me in that direction or whatever, but co-ops are not your typical animal.
No.
And the people we serve and the areas we serve are not your normal America. It's different than, I think, not to say there's any other parts about the U.S. that's not great, but there's something special about co-ops and what they do to their communities, what they bring to their communities. And it's been a fun ride. And Dave and I crossed paths 35 years ago or something. It had nothing to do with what we're talking about today, but it's been great to work with you. And I can tell you that. And I'm not dead yet, so it's going to be a lot of fun.
We got a lot to do yet. So anyway, well, thank you very much, RB.
Yeah, thanks so much, RB. I did tell David that if this whole energy thing doesn't work out for you, you could be a comedian, so you're safe.
Yeah. Tell my wife that.
And maybe David could just come in and be your sidekick now and then.
Yeah, there you go. I don't know. I'm not. Yeah.
No, this is a great show. I like it. I'll help.
Okay.
All right. Well, thank you so much for joining us this episode. We appreciate your time, and we will see you next time.
Thank you all.
Take
Bye
care.
now.
Bye.